Hi, Internet family. 80 million individual and business taxpayers owed the IRS in 2016. And each spring, 1 in 6 individual taxpayers files a return with a balance due. Now, just imagine with me this year with all the people that have been affected by the pandemic. How many taxpayers are there like you that still owe? Now, receiving an IRS notice has been known to do its fair share of making people's blood pressure rise. And it's easy to feel like you're all alone. You're the only one. The IRS is going to come in, lock you up, put you in jail, take all your money, your bank account, and everything you own. But contrary to popular belief, the IRS really isn't set out on ruining your life. However, they will exercise the right to seize your property if you continue to ignore those notices. And that's why today I want to share with you 4 things that you need to know if you owe the IRS. Before I get started though, for those of you that don't know, my name is Timlin Bowens, and I'm an enrolled agent. I'm licensed through the Internal Revenue Service. I'm also the owner of Bowens Tax and Bookkeeping Solutions. We are a virtual firm based out of Louisville, Kentucky that specializes in helping with tax issues. So the first thing that I want to share with you today, you want to make sure that you still file your return on time, even if you think that you're going to have a balance due. What happens if you don't file? You're actually only making the situation worse, and you're setting yourself up for a high failure to file penalty. This penalty can be up to 25% of whatever the balance is that you owe. So you want to make sure, even if you know that you're going to owe, you want to file that return on time. Number 2, don't file an extension and think that everything is okay. If you owe, something that you need to understand is that an extension is an extension of time to file, but not an extension to pay. This catches a lot of people up. So make sure you put this down with asterisks. An extension is an extension of time to file, not an extension of time to pay. Now, just like with everything else, there's an exception to the rule. If you've made estimated payments and you've made up to if you've made payments and paid up to 90% of the liability when you file the extension, some of those penalties you can probably get waived. But you still, if you can, want to make sure that you make those estimated payments along with the extension. So 1, make sure that you file that return on time. 2, don't file an extension and think that it's all over. So number 3, you have payment options with the IRS. If you owe, don't let that make you freeze. You can cut a deal with them. And even if you don't qualify for a deal, there are other arrangements that can be made. The most common of these is the installment agreement. But if you're in a situation where your income has gone down and you've lost other assets, you may be eligible to set up a deal with the IRS. These types of tax situations are the ones that my firm, Bowens Tax and Bookkeeping Solutions, specialize in. So number 1, we want to make sure you get that return filed on time. Number 2, don't file an extension and think that it's all over. Number 3, you have payment options. The 4th and final thing that I want to share with you today is that the IRS has 10 years to collect that tax once it's assessed. Yes, you heard that correctly. They have 10 years. What I want to point out to you here, though, a lot of people think it's 10 years after the return was due, but that's not the case at all. You have 10 years after it's assessed. So even if you don't file, that clock does not start ticking until the IRS has sent you something saying, hey, this is what you owe. Now, typically, if a taxpayer can't pay that balance within 10 years, the IRS will write that off with the penalties. So that's why when you go to try to set up a deal with the IRS, you have to send in very, very detailed financial information showing why you can't make the payments. So, 4 things you should know if you owe the IRS. Number 1, make sure you get that return filed on time. Number 2, don't file an extension and think it's all over. We can't ignore those notices, it only makes it worse. Number 3, you have payment options with the IRS. And last but not least, the IRS has 10 years to collect that tax. Now, I know that if you have those notices that your blood pressure may be up a little bit, but I hope that after finding out that information is kind of eased. Now, if you don't have a plan of action on how you're going to pay off your IRS debt, what I want you to do is set up a free, no obligation, no judgment call with me. I'm going to leave the link below in the caption so that you can set up that call with me. But if you don't have time to waste, this is what I want you to do. I'm going to invite you to go ahead and give me a call today, and we're going to get that appointment scheduled so we can take a look at your situation and find the best legal solution to get that IRS out of the way. I love empowering people to live their lives while settling their IRS tax debt. So until next time, you all stay safe and don't let the IRS bully you.